Hello and welcome, friends. Now, as we speak, it's actually a double negative lunar unit. And at the same time, I'm having a great time. Hallelujah. And I'm in the process of mastering my life, even my very good high life and my destiny, my dear friends. And so should you. Because guess what? There is a way to make everything work perfectly in life. Really? Perfectly? Yes. Perfectly and plus perfectly and increasingly and sustainably, my dear friends. Sustainably, perfectly and increasingly plus perfectly. So that you're always healthy, wealthy, happy, blessed. You get the picture. Hallelujah. And so should you, and so be it. I'm going to explain how this works. It's very simple. And it's imperative that you all benefit from this system, the good system. It's actually an operating system that the Creator, blessed be His name, put in place, wherewith He basically ordered everything aright in creation. And it's essentially intelligible and comprehensible to us through the divine blessing of wisdom and having the insight into how life and even the cycles of life work, and that in an increasing measure, okay? Now look, first of all, to comprehend what's happening here and how to make the best things happen there and everywhere, all you simply must do is just stop, take a deep breath, pause, right? And then clearly identify your actual real-time position within the cycles of life that you are in right here and right now. And that's exactly what we're doing. So currently it's a Tuesday evening at 4:35 p.m. using the winter time, my friends, because you ought to only use the wintertime calculation of time. Everywhere, wherever you are, forget about summertime. Use the wintertime during the wintertime and in the summertime, because that's the actual accurate time it is. I could get into this more, yet keeping it simple now. Shall we continue? Use the winter time. Okay, so you check, right, the life cycles you're in to get a clear picture of your current real-time position within the cycles of life. Listen closely. I'm doing it right now. Watch. You have to have the time of the day using the winter time. So it's 4:36 p.m. now on a Tuesday. So, generally speaking, there are about 9 different cycles of life that are important. I've spoken about this before. There are 9 different cycles of life that are very important that you should monitor, preferably, every 3 hours during the day. Now, there are levels to this. I'm giving you a simple overview here, and while you get this simple overview, keep in mind that, like with everything that I'm explaining, there are different levels to this in terms of if you put in a little bit of wise work, you get a lot of good results. If you put in a lot of wise work into self-mastery, right, you get a ton and tons of good results, and so on and so forth. So there are levels to this. Okay, so we've got the daily period identified, right? So first of all, right, establishing our position. Right now it's actually 4:37 p.m. on a Tuesday evening. Okay, great. So using the winter time, I know the real time that it is. Okay. Now, there's a daily period of the cycles of life, 3 hours and 25 minutes in length that we're in right now, and that's a C period. It's actually from 1:42 to 5:08 p.m., right? Okay. On a Tuesday evening, right? It's very good for teaching and scientific, realization of truths and things like this. That's why I'm teaching, making a vlog right now. It all fits into place perfectly, right? Universally speaking. So the daily period identified. Now we've got the short lunar unit of 3 hours. Pardon. Now we had a high tide at the nearest maritime location at 3:08 p.m. today. Pardon me, please. That would be, so it's 4:38 now. At 3:08 we had a high tide at the nearest maritime port. 3 hours after a high tide, it's a negative short lunar unit. We're currently in a negative short lunar unit. We're also currently in a negative 3.5 day long lunar unit. That actually equals a double negative. What's very good is that I'm somewhat surprised at how energetic I am right now, even though it's a double negative lunar unit. So there's some type of energy reserve, or actually I think what's happening is that I'm just accomplishing the right things, wherefore it is the time right now, and so I'm divinely supported and expedited and happy, and it's just working great. So it's like you always have good energy if you're living, operating, moving, working, resting in harmony with the cycles of life as much as possible. It's like we're at the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, and it's working real good. Yeah, okay. So then you've got the annual life cycle period. Okay. Then you've got, so I know what one I'm in of those. Okay. Then you've got the simple overall period of human life. Then you've got your soul personality to monitor too, as guidance. What you should, what you shouldn't, basically, in all areas of life. It's a very big subject matter here, yet for now, just follow along, if you will, and see that. So now we've established our position within the cycles of life. I know what cycles are going on, right? So I know what this time is good for right now, and what I'm occupied with at this moment is exactly the right thing. Made the right decision to stop, go into nature, right? Make this vlog. Now listen, and now the point here, the point of this vlog, we're getting to the climax of it all, is quite simply the following. Listen, I highly recommend that all of you, dear guests, friends, viewers, right, invest in a good calendar, okay? I'm talking about a black book that's letter size with 180 plus pages, a page for every day for all of the year. Because look, right now as we speak, I have good things that are happening and that are being made happen, and serious processes in operation right now that I have to definitively guide and direct into good results, okay? Now, this is possible. In other words, achieving and successfully accomplishing good and legitimate life's goals and objectives, this is possible by practicing self-mastery, right? Living prudently, okay? And practicing good organizational skills. This is how a lot of the good things are accomplished when you practice good organizational skills. You have to keep a good, big calendar where, and I'm talking about a physical calendar. This video is now becoming about the importance and the benefits of basically writing and maintaining a good annual calendar, my friends. I've started doing this in 2026, and I highly recommend you do the same, because listen closely, like I said, there are details in life that you have to write this stuff down. You're going to write this down. Like we're talking about money coming in, how to make things that are good happen, come in, and then also outgoing and so on, right? All this stuff. regular things, rent, insurance, and even more so, your destiny, the things that you're divinely predestined to achieve, how you can accomplish what's the best for you on a daily basis, and thereby even make your life the best, right? All these things. These are things that, what are they? They're things that happen in everyday life. Your thoughts, ideas, objectives. Write down your objectives. Put them on, write down when you had this idea. So before I get into this more, what I'm talking about is having a calendar with a page for every day where significant things that happen are written down, because, so that's one part of this. And also a page for every day where you can see, okay, what is a short lunar unit? What's a long lunar unit? What annual life cycle period am I in? What are the daily periods? Okay, so that way it's like having a menu, a menu, my friends. Like literally a menu for the day where you have an entire page that's letter size, like this big. I'm talking like big enough so that you can write everything down for the day. Your appointments, your objectives, accomplishments, significant things that have happened, and even meeting certain people engaged in certain areas and lines of business, whatever significant things take place. And then also with this page for a day, I could show you the page, but maybe it'll be as a cover of this video. So a page for every day, my friends. Listen, if you have a page for every day, it's like having a menu for that day of of the general parameters of what is divinely possible to be made manifest on that day. This is serious. You should pay attention to this, because the benefits and the rewards you will get from this are massive. All of you should know this. Everyone should know this. So like, look, I have a calendar with me. I have a calendar page for today, okay? On that page, it's got, picture a page now, letter size, big enough, right? It's got all the tides for today, low and high. It's got the lunar unit mapped out. It's got the annual life cycle period mapped out. I can see from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I have lines, and there's lines, paragraphs for like every hour and quarter hourly lines. So like it starts at 8 a.m., ends at 8 p.m., right? And I've got a line for 8 o'clock, then I've got a line for 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, 9 o'clock, etc., 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 etc. This goes on from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. If there's anything at other hours, then I could write that somewhere else. So like you have a page for the day where what you have is, it's as if you have a map of how the universe is working on that day. And it's as if you have a, what's this called? A menu. It's as if you have a menu of what is technically divinely possible during this day. Because look, if you're standing on the seashore and you have a boat next to you and you'd like to go fishing, you're going to go out safely when the tide goes out, and you're going to come back in when the tide comes in again safely. It's the same principle, the same idea, the same basic logic and system of nature and natural law, yet more in the details, okay? Now, having a calendar page for the day, it gives you the ability to coordinate what you do during the day, right? In plain English here, so that everything you're doing is coordinated properly. First of all, you're aiming for the right objectives, wherefore it is a time in your life right now, in both business life, personal life, health life, etc. And also, my friends, that way everything you're doing in the first place is the right thing, and it's the things wherefore it is a time in your life right now. Because look, if you're trying to, it's like the agricultural example. If you're trying to plant seeds while there's snow on the ground, it's not going to work. You have to do that in the springtime, okay? So don't worry, now you can correct, you can adjust your method of living and operating and winning so that you will win, 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 win. Okay? This is how it works. So look, a calendar page for every day, right? Now listen. If you write something down by typing it in your phone or your digital device, it's almost like a two-dimensional activity compared to a three-dimensional activity of actually picking up a pen, writing with it on a physical page of paper, right? So the effectivity of writing and keeping and maintaining a physical, big, comfortable, good calendar for all of the year with like 180 plus pages and a page for every day of the year. The benefits from this are maximum. They're maximum benefits because you have good organization. Because look, here's what can happen. You can have a calendar on your phone or okay. You can have a physical calendar, you can have a digital device with a calendar and it does not have the same efficiency or the same positive effect on your overall organization and your life, being in order and having things timed right and being timely and accomplishing the right things at the right times. I know this because for many years when I was quote unquote I was going to say younger, I was in my 20s, right? I was writing it on the phone. I would write it in my phone. Maybe I'd use a little tiny one for my pocket, like a little paper calendar. Okay, nowadays, and so should you all today, nowadays I have a massive black book calendar, okay? Like letter size, bigger than letter size, like I said. And so now here's what happens, okay? Why is keeping a calendar so important? It's a physical, good calendar with pen and paper, like a good pen and a good black book calendar. Why? Because, look, the reason why it's so important is because everything in life has a life cycle and a certain starting point wherein, based on the time, or moreover in the life cycles, and remember, all of us at all times are in about 9 different cycles of life that are relevant, that are important to monitor. And the shortest one changes every 3 hours. The next one changes every 3 hour, 25 minutes. The next one changes every 3.5 days. The next one changes every 52 days. The next one changes every 7 years. Okay, this goes on for about 144 years, okay, etc., right? So now, everything that happens, say for example, during the day, okay? Everything that happens during the day, wait a second, before I even say everything that happens, dear viewers, listen. Everything you make happen. Because the things that happen, how did this happen? Well, I made this happen, right? I'm standing here right now, I'm making this happen because I was on the train earlier, I looked out at the landscape, I thought, I should get out, take a walk, make a vlog instead of sitting here in the train for another hour. Okay, so I did this. So this is what happened because I'm making this happen right now. And this is a very important point, dear viewers and guests and friends and everyone. You should know that what is happening right now, first of all, we have the ability with divine support, of course, and guidance, to make the right things happen in the first place. This is highly important. So this is called mastering your life and your destiny. And it's easier than it may sound. And it's actually a very good and a happy process, right? This makes me really happy, okay? Because it's exactly the right thing. It's as if what I'm doing, what I'm researching, what I'm working, what I'm resting, etc., all the things are working great because I'm doing the exact right thing that I was made for, right? That's how it is. That's how you have to live. You have to live as a master of your life and your destiny. So, okay. On this subject of the calendar page and how things have a life cycle, look, everything in life, including raindrops, right, have a life cycle. Okay, I got an RTB, a little bit. Because we've got, yeah. So everything in life has a life cycle. Now listen, this is everything from, for example, so based on the time and a place where something begins, and now when I say like what happens or what begins, remember, my friends, pay close attention to this. It will be miraculously beneficial for you, okay? Increasingly. The things that happen, or like what happened today, the question is, what did you make happen with wisdom in accordance with God's will, hopefully, right? And the right things. Because you're actually making things happen a certain way as you go. We all are. So everybody seeing this video by now, listen. May I have your attention, please? You should know, and now you know that all of us, every human is actually sort of automatically active in the process of what is known as mastery, because that's just how life in the universe works according to natural law, basically. So like, what I'm saying is that you should just simply start to become a master of your life and your destiny in a good way now, because automatically, by a basic programming, every person is actually, divinely, creatively active, created in God's image and after his own likeness, and also automatically a creative being where you are creating your destiny. It's like, it's not possible to evade from how this works. Like, if I turn my head to the left, I'm turning it to the left. It's me doing it, okay? You go here, you go there, make wise decisions, because you have to make decisions anyway. The great thing is, and the just absolutely magnificent news is that now every decision you make, even if you see this video, right? From this point on, everything you do, every decision you make, you can simply practically apply wisdom. So now what happens is everything works magically, perfectly. As I speak right now, there's some real good things working. And I had to check and be prudent and go, okay, did I really make the right decision? Because I made this happen now. Yes, you did. Because you're being prudent, and there are a lot of new possibilities that are now opening up where some really good things happening. Okay? Now listen, friends. Here's the thing, okay? The new opportunities and possibilities and things that can basically happen, quote unquote, you can make happen in your life become absolutely beautiful and really, really good when you start to practice mastery. Because listen, every one of us is shaping our destiny every day based on what we do or don't do, or moreover, what we decide on, okay? It's automatic. You're gonna get up, hallelujah, right? Go out there, you're gonna pick and choose wisely, and you're gonna get really good things in life. Health, wealth, miracles, all these good things. It's how it works. It's how it's supposed to be, at minimum, at best. And it will get better and better. Yet, look, the thing is, every human is already, either way, there's no way to avoid mastery. It's like, so it's almost like walking with your eyes open or with your eyes closed. You can decide to keep your eyes closed. Don't do it. Open your eyes. See clearly. See like a magi, right? Get wisdom, right? Wisdom is a principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all that getting, get understanding, right? The beginning of wisdom is a fear of God. Good understanding to all the practitioners. All you practitioners, all you people, listen. If you're watching this video right now, you are becoming a practitioner in terms of what's written in that last verse of Psalm 111, where it says, the beginning of wisdom is a fear of God. Good understanding to all their practitioners. Hey, that's us, without a vowel, God willing. So welcome to the very good high life and way of living as a master of your life and your destiny. That is the most important life skill there is. There is no more important life skill out there, universally speaking, than that of mastery, because it's part of the divinely commanded way where basically, in accordance with and as a result of being intelligently obedient to God's will, getting blessings from Him, retaining them and working with them, you have wisdom. By practically applying wisdom in your life, all the best possible things happen, and they continuously happen, and it gets better and better, and you're really blessed, you're really safe, you're healthy, you're wealthy, you're good to go. Hallelujah, and so should you. And that's how it works. And I know this because I live this every day, and I'm doing it right now, and it works real good, and I'm going to keep on doing it without a vow, God willing, and so should you. Because to live as a master is the ultimate way to live. It's the absolute ultimate way to live. There's no other way to live. Because the world is filled with things here and there that are like imperfections. Things like lack of knowledge or not knowing. Okay, look, there's a time and a place for everything under heaven. These trees out here, right? Some of these trees, okay, they're like already, they're bearing fruits, while some of these are saplings. There's a sapling over there on that rock, okay? So obviously, there's a time and a place for everything under heaven. There's a time for enlightenment. There's a time for ultimate enlightenment, right? And then utilizing that enlightenment, right? So like, the basic idea though is that a master is somebody who's like actively right now, I'm doing it right now to the best of my knowledge and the best of my ability, is somebody who's masters or who is mastering or who's able to master their life and their destiny and is not a victim. Heaven forbid, is not a victim of these sort of nonsensical and illusory things like where people might say it in the form of a word like sort of random or coincidence or chance or chaos or whatever. No, everything in the universe works with absolute perfect order. And it can be absolutely perfect with us, and it basically is. And it's kept that way by practicing mastery and maintaining self-discipline. A little bit equals a lot of good results, right? So a large part of this is maintaining a calendar, my friends, that is a physical, good, black book, hard copy calendar with a comfortable pen. Actually, before you even get a pen, get a pencil, a mechanical pencil, because here's what can happen. I myself, as a perfectionist and as a calligrapher too, I go out on a limb writing a calendar just like in regular handwriting and not thinking too much about all the details of artwork. What I'm saying is, take it easy and just use a mechanical pencil for the first like writings, because you can erase that. So what I started doing was, I don't use a blue pen anymore directly. I use a mechanical pencil that is cleanly erasable in my calendar to write things down and to mark stuff out, because now I figured out that it's better that way, because if I change something or if something gets upgraded and I have to write it differently later, I realize something, I can erase it. Whereas if I use a blue pen, it's there and that's it. So that's what I highly recommend. Now look, okay, once again, why is it so important to have to utilize a calendar? Because look, every day, my friends, first of all, what we make happen, and that's what happens. Of course, with divine guidance and due respect to the ultimate divine authority that's, powering the universe, though it's being powered systematically, we can basically make our divine, God-given free will intelligently obedient to wisdom and be safe and prudent. Like, it's as simple as what I'm doing right now. The same thing I'm doing right now, like I'm walking here and I'm being very attentive because I have to watch my step, because it's very, very easy right now to have like something happen. So I'm being really prudent and attentive right now to watch my step. It's that same faculty of self-discipline and the ability to caution oneself that is actually the key to accomplishing the most important things in life. That you have a grip on yourself, that you have mastery over yourself, right? I can go over, I could run here now. That would be foolish. I'm not going to do that. while I'm walking prudently because I know what can happen, right? So I'm making the right thing happen. It's that simple. These facts that I'm talking about, probably it's the easiest and the simplest and most important example of the idea of having like mastery over yourself, having command over yourself, your body, your spiritual state, your physical state, and being able to determine what you make happen is so important, because that way you can force yourself to be somewhat prudent, and the results of that in your life are massively positive results. So, okay. All right, just getting really close to the end here. In a couple minutes, we're going to finish this. Listen, look, imagine holding a map in your hands of what is possible. It's almost like, if I say what's possible, it's more than what's possible. A calendar page for a day, a self-mastery calendar page. That is something that is so important, because it's like having a map of how the universe is working on that day, and then having the ability to coordinate the things that you work on, right, or you seek to accomplish within certain time frames during the day, during certain daily periods of 3 hours and 25 minutes, and then also it's a combination of the daily periods and then whatever lunar long and short lunar units you're in, and so on. There are windows of opportunity for certain things to be accomplished in life, in certain cycles of life. And if you seek to accomplish the right things, wherefore it is a time in your life right now, they will simply be successfully accomplished, because there's it's like automatic universal divine support available for these things right now, but not so much for these other things that at a different time those things can work. But right now it's a time for this. So this is what you're busy with, right? Picture it in your head like this. You're seeing this video. What I'm doing right now is exactly wherefore it is a time right now. And so I'm having a great time. I'm happy, and it's interesting. And as I speak, even making a tutorial here, I am getting like additional knowledge through figuring it out, and I'm gaining additional knowledge. Like, imagine making a tutorial, right, on life cycles and self-mastery and the importance of a calendar and the benefits from it. While you're teaching yourself, you're actually getting instructed from the Most High too. So be wise and prudent, be happy, and choose wisely, and start to practice writing and keeping a good annual physical calendar, my friends. Because I've had it happen. It's how it is. If you type stuff into a digital device or a phone or some screen somewhere, yeah, it gets retained a little bit, and then it pops up as a notification, yet it's a totally different reality when you write things physically. And you got to have like a good calendar that's comfortable to write, that has enough room too. So try that and see how it works, okay? You will see that everything becomes so much better and simpler in your life, and easier if you have good organizational skills in your life. Keep a good self-mastery calendar, my friends. I have videos about this. This is not the first video, there are more. Look in the channel about type into hashtag self-mastery, hashtag wise mapping, hashtag calendar, hashtag cycles of life. You should be able to find other videos that I have about this, okay? And thanks for watching, and please repost and reshare and retweet this everywhere. Thank you very much.